It starts with a void. You know, the kind of grief that just changes the very air you breathe. After his wife Sarah died, well, the city just became impossible for him and his daughter.
Right, every street corner, every park, it's all haunted by memories. So he does what you'd think anyone would do. He runs.
Runs back home to his childhood house in a little town called Oldest Creek.
A place that's supposed to be safe, quiet, but it's nestled right up against these sprawling, dark woods. And that's where the real story begins.
And the house itself, it's old, it's wooden, it's full of creaks and groans. So there's this sense of false safety from the start.
Exactly. And his daughter, Ellie, she's only 6. She seems okay, you know, resilient. But then she starts talking to herself.
Which you'd expect, right? A child's way of coping.
Totally. At first, he's probably relieved until she gives this friend a name.
Mr. Mapmaker.
Mr. Mapmaker. And the way she describes him, it's not like a fluffy imaginary rabbit. He's cheerful, she says. Very smart. And particular about getting things right.
That's the part that's so chilling. Particular. It's so precise. Yeah. So unnatural for a child's fantasy.
And then the drawing starts. After dinner, every night, she's there with her crayons.
An obsession.
A total obsession. She's humming, muttering to herself as if she's getting instructions. Things like, Mr. Mapmaker says the leg is deeper here.
And what is she drawing?
Well, at first, it's just innocent sketches. But then the maps, they start to shift.
Shift how?
They start depicting real places. Places from the father's own childhood. Places he hasn't thought about in decades.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like an old abandoned hunting cabin deep in the woods. She draws it perfectly. The peeling red paint, the broken shutters.
Things a 6-year-old couldn't possibly know.
Or a stagnant, mossy pond where kids used to dare each other to go. And the drawings themselves are this strange conflict.
What do you mean?
Well, the lines are crude, childish. The proportions are all wrong. She presses so hard with the crayon that she sometimes tears the paper.
But the details?
The details are precise. Unnervingly accurate. It's too real to be a coincidence, but too childish to be a real map.
And then he sees them. The symbols.
Hidden in the drawings. Tiny, strange, letter-like marks tucked away behind a tree or in the corner.
And he asks her what they are.
He does, and she just whispers. She says Mr. Mapmaker told her what they're for.
What are they for?
He says they help you find your way back.
Back where?
Back home, Daddy.
And that's when the dread really sets in. Because home isn't this new house.
No, it's something else entirely. And that leads to the final map. The one he can't ignore.
He's standing there alone, looking at this piece of paper she just handed him. Hastily drawn.
And above the drawing of that same hunting cabin, there's a label, a childish scrawl.
Where Mommy lives now.
And the look in Ellie's eyes when she gave it to him, it was so serious, so hopeful. She just said, Mr. Mapmaker said you need to see it, Daddy.
What does he do?
He goes. I mean, what choice does he have? He's fueled by this insane, desperate hope that grief gives you.
So he follows this crayon map into the woods.
For almost an hour, trudging through mud and brambles. Until he finds it, the cabin.
Exactly like the drawing.
Exactly. Sagging, covered in moss, half swallowed by these twisted skeletal trees. The air is just thick with the smell of mold and wet earth.
And he goes inside?
He pushes the door open. It's all shadows, slivers of daylight cutting through the grime. And then he sees it.
What?
Just a little glint on the floor, in the half-light.
And he kneels down and it's her bracelet.
Sarah's bracelet, a silver one with these tiny little emeralds.
The one he bought for her. The one that was buried with her.
Just lying there on the dirt floor. And any last shred of denial he had just evaporates.
So he goes back. He confronts Ellie.
He kneels by her bed that night.
Yeah.
And her answer. He's so sleepy. So matter of fact, it's terrifying.
What did she say?
Mr. Mapmaker told me he knows a lot of things. Mommy gave it to him.
Gave it to him.
It means you're on the right path.
The right path. My God. So now he knows this isn't grief. It's something else.
It is. And his first instinct is to find a rational explanation. He starts asking around town.
In Oldest Creek.
Yeah, under false pretenses. He goes to the hardware store, talks to a man named Mystic Gentry, and the second he mentions the woods, Gentry's whole demeanor changes.
The friendliness just disappears.
Gone. Replaced by this heavy caution. He just warns him, you keep her close. That's not a place kids should be wandering. And you shouldn't be poking around either.
A warning.
A clear warning. And he gets it everywhere he goes. The old woman at the grocery, Mr. Cooper at the diner. The polite smiles turn stiff. The conversation just ends.
It's a wall of silence. A uniform reaction. Stay out of the woods.
They're managing a known terror. They have rules. And the final, most explicit warning comes from his neighbor, Mrs. Callahan.
An old woman?
Ancient. She's out tending her roses, and her eyes just narrow when he approaches. She cuts him right off.
What'd she say?
She says some questions are better left unanswered. And then she gives him the truth he's been looking for. There's always something in those woods. It finds ways of speaking. But the real danger, the real horror, is what it promises.
That's a promise.
And with that, she turns and closes her door. And he's left there, realizing this fear is woven into the very fabric of the town.
So he decides to leave. They have to get out of there.
Of course. But Ellie, she fights him violently,
Yank.
kicking and screaming that Mr. Mapmaker won't let them abandon Mommy.
The thing is, using his own grief, his daughter's grief, as leverage.
Exactly. And that night,
Hmm.
it happens. He wakes up to a silence that just feels wrong.
Ellie's room.
Her door is wide open. She's gone.
No.
And on her pillow, there's another map, drawn in charcoal. It just says, Mommy's waiting.
And he runs. He sprints into that suffocating pitch black forest.
And the forest, it becomes a living nightmare. It fights him.
What do you mean it fights him?
The trees seem to twist. Paths double back on themselves. Landmarks shift. It's exactly like the impossible logic of her drawings.
So he's literally walking through her map of this nightmare world.
Yeah. And it's guiding him deeper, pulling him toward the center of it all.
The clearing.
The clearing, bathed in this pale, ghostly moonlight. And Ellie is just standing there, perfectly still, serene,
But her eyes are empty.
empty. And beside her is the figure, Mr. Mapmaker. At least 10 feet tall, its form shifting like smoke and ink.
And Ellie speaks.
In this hollow, mechanical voice. Mummy says we can all be together again.
And then the mapmaker speaks.
A voice that seems to crawl from the earth and the sky at the same time.
You've come far. You deserve a reward.
But there's a price.
Everything has a price. To leave with her, you must leave something behind.
A trade. And he doesn't wait to find out what it is.
He lunges. He just grabs Ellie and runs for his life.
And the entire forest just erupts.
A sound like 1,000 voices hissing at once. Branches tear at him. The ground itself seems to buckle under his feet, tortured voices screaming for them to stop.
He just keeps running, a desperate, agonizing race, until he bursts through the tree line, through the final dense branches, and collapses onto the familiar garden stones of his own backyard.
And it's over. The pursuit stops.
The woods go silent. Just this oppressive quiet. And for a second, he feels relief.
Only for a
He
second.
looks down at Ellie. She's limp in his arms. And when she wakes up, her gaze is just aimless, confused.
She doesn't recognize him.
She pulls back from him, frightened, and her voice trembles as she asks,
Who? Who are you?
"Oh God, that was the price."
That was the trade. He saved her life, but he lost her, her memory, their bond, all of it, left behind in the woods.
So he's left with this shell of his daughter.
The doctors call it severe dissociative trauma. She
Oh.
doesn't draw maps anymore. She never mentions Mr. Mapmaker.
But she doesn't call him Dad either.
No, she treats him with this polite, distant tolerance, like he's a well-meaning stranger who takes care of her.
He traded one horror for another. A classic monkey's paw wish. The silence in the house is heavier than any scream. And the whispers. They linger at the edge of his dreams, mocking his choice.
Hmm.
But the story, it doesn't end there.
It doesn't.
No. Because of the trauma, the mapping, the obsession, it has to go somewhere. And it shifts from the daughter to the father.
What do you mean?
He begins to draw. Alone in his office late at night. What started as just to me. Absent-minded doodles.
They're becoming maps.
Cohesive. They're starting to make sense. He can feel it, you know. He feels a presence guiding his hand.
He's the new cartographer.
He is. And he's drawing a path, a guide,
Back to the clearing.
back to the spot where the trades are made. He is going to go back. He is going to get his daughter back.
But he knows there's a price. He knows the mapmaker demands a trade.
He does. The first one cost him her memory, their entire relationship. So you have to ask yourself, as you're listening to this, what essential, irreversible part of himself will he have to leave behind this time?